Hi, it's Megan.
And it's Bree.
And we just want to talk about TV.
Welcome to our podcast,
Unseriesous. Each episode, we're going to cover a TV show, new or old, and have a silly little conversation about it.
So grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's get unserious.
Welcome. The way has come to select one courageous young man and woman for the honor of participating in the 74th annual Hunger Games. I volunteer as tribute. I volunteer. What's the song that plays when like the interviews come on? You know, it's like the horn.
Oh, yes. I was like, whoa. Never. What? Oh, sorry, that's us.
Welcome back to Unseriesous, starring Caesar Flickerman and Toby's his real name, Claudius Temple Smith.
Slay. Hey, Eddie, pose like them.
You can't really see us. You can't see our hands, probably. Well, no, we're here to be serious. We're taking Unseriesous and making it a little serious to talk about a series. We're not breaking format by doing a movie. It's a series, a book series, a film series. It's the fucking Hunger Games, and it's so back.
It is so back. We are so back.
We are so back.
We are so fucking
We've never
back.
been more back.
I'm fucking thrilled.
To really just like go full in. We fucking love the Hunger Games.
We love it. We live it.
Laugh.
Breathe.
Love.
We laugh.
Hunger Games.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying since it came out.
In lieu of catching up on the content we've been consuming, the content we've been consuming has been the Hunger Games. In the prequel, we read the prequel, we watched the prequel. In preparation, we watched all four of the movies again. We didn't read the books most recently, but we both read the series at least once or twice all the way through.
Yes. We are here.
We're here. We stand. We march. We march. Wow. And really just gonna get into all the tea. But I wanted to ask, Bree, how did you get introduced to become a Hunger Games fan back in the day? Take me back to 2012?
Yeah.
It's been over 10 years.
I remember being in middle school and I started reading the books because it was the hot thing to do. And I did it and it changed my life. Mm-hmm. And Catching Fire specifically, I remember that book, I need to reread them. But yeah. And then I went to all the midnight premieres for the movies. I was fucking in it. Mm-hmm. I love peeta every day. I posted that every day, I think.
Someone in my grade made it was just a picture of Josh Anderson and tagged all the girls in our grade and we were like, Team Peeta.
Yeah, everyone's like, Team Peeta. I love the interactions I have back then from that. It was so funny. I'm
so cringy.
What's going on?
So good.
And now it's Team Snow.
No. Whoa. Just go right in.
I'm kidding.
No snow apologists. Anyway,
who are you dressed like?
Oh, yeah. Who are we dressed like, Bree? Oh, my mic almost falls. We're paying homage to Coriolanus Snow, Tom Blythe's iconic red carpet look.
It's iconic. It's never been done before.
So unique.
It's the most iconic one out of the whole cast. He nailed it.
I loved it. Well, who are we talking about? Let's talk about that. He made the point. And I
looks around
for it.
I had it in my closet. I said, I'll wear that.
He's an everyman. He appeals to the masses. He says, you too could stand here and
you can wear this. The picture of Woody Harrelson in pajamas.
Let's talk about that.
That's me.
We should have worn that.
I would wear that. That's pretty iconic.
Pajama pants. The Hunger Games. I got into it very similarly. We had to read it in 7th grade.
That was had to read it?
We read it out loud in class.
That's such
and then have a chapter
out loud in class. Yes. That's kind of funny.
And I would read ahead and then we'd come back the next day and I'd be like, I already know what's about.
Sorry, I finished it.
You were allowed to do that, but we read it every day in class. And then we went on a field trip, so we read it in the fall, and then when it came out in March, we had a whole the whole 7th grade class got to go. It was like the stars aligned for this to happen.
Yeah.
And like it could have been 8th graders, it could have been the 6th graders, but no, all the 7th graders that year got to read it and then go on a field trip, fill those Florence Rave seats.
Yeah.
And it changed my life. It was so fun. Reading it, again, changed my life. I wouldn't be the person I am today without The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. I remember where I was at the end of Catching Fire when they said, Katniss, there is no District 12. I threw my book across the living room. Peeta was locked up in the Capitol. And, like, the whole series, like, waiting each year for the new movie and, like, having those big book moments come to life. And, like, I didn't go to the midnight premiere, but I went day of every time. Mm-hmm. Obsessed. Like, it's a very, like, obviously dark story, but it's just, like, so good. Like, the, like, parallels, what it's trying to represent, like, so well done. It's so interesting. The characters are all so compelling. The world, is like, crazy and dark as it is, like...
It's so dark. It's so interesting that that's what we were reading.
Yeah, no, it's so...
Because it's, like, really dark.
I feel like we were just, like, so young to really, like...
To fully
grasp, like... And, like, we would talk... Since we read it as a class, we did talk about, like... How does this, like... What does this, like, metaphorically mean? And, like, what is this trying to, like, play? Like, we were in 7th grade. Like, we weren't in high school. We weren't as analyzing as we could have. We weren't doing that quite yet. But we would, like, talk about it. Or talk about, you know, like, motifs and all that fun stuff. Woo! But, like, I think I would have had a different appreciation for it reading it for the first time now. I'm trying to remember. There's one reason where I was like, I think I'd read this differently now. But...
Yeah, I need to reread them.
I read The Hunger Games in college when we had we were doing, we had a history class and they had a bunch of books and Hunger Games was the option. I'm like, let me reread that. And it's such an easy read.
Yeah.
I sometimes struggle rereading things or reading things where I know what's going to happen. But I eat that up. I could probably reread. It's probably my favorite series of all time.
I need to go buy the whole thing.
Yeah, can like
the whole collection.
The company in the UK that has the fancy
just
copies.
Send us some. Collab. Want to collab?
Hashtag spawn.
Hashtag spawn.
Yeah.
Please. Those are so beautiful.
I agree.
Yeah.
So, kicking it off, I guess I should tell everyone what the Hunger Games is about.
Oh, yeah.
No one look at the Word doc when I pull it up.
Okay, I won't look at it.
The Hunger Games is a dystopian book turned film series centering around characters in the post-war torn country of Pan. Here, the government forces each district to randomly select one boy and one girl from the ages 12 to 18 to compete in the yearly Hunger Games, a battle to the death with one remaining victor. The original trilogy, penned by Suzanne Collins, focuses on Katniss, a girl in District 12 who volunteers so her sister doesn't have to go into the deadly games, but inadvertently winds up being the face of the rebellion against the Capitol and the #1 enemy of President Snow. The series' prequel, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, takes place 60-ish years earlier, where a young President Snow is a mentor in the 10th annual Hunger Games and falls for his tribute. Through the tribulations of their relationship, as well as his with his government in the games, we learn just exactly how Coriolanus Snow became the ruthless ruler we know of him to become. In both his and Katniss' stories, it's not over until the mockingjay sings. May the odds be ever in your favor. Wow.
Lovely.
Beautiful.
Iconic.
Life-changing, show-stopping, like, incredible. I have chills, and we barely even begun.
We haven't even started. Yes.
I just think the whole concept, before we get into, like, the story individually, because we want to try to talk about everything, I think we're going to focus on The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, book and movie, spoiler alert ahead. This is not friendly if you haven't seen that, and that's brand spanking new out in the theaters.
Watching.
But, like, basically, it's kind of just like this narrative taking place, obviously, in a very fictional world, sort of like, I guess, like America in the future. Should there be, like, a civil war that breaks out and, like, completely destroys the country, and then all the rich capitalist people in the capital just kind of become in charge and all that stuff. And it's obviously fictional. It's obviously a little, like, I don't want to say far-fetched. My point was just to say it's like, this could fucking happen.
Ew.
Eat the rich.
Eat the rich.
And, like,
if this happened, I'd throw up.
Yeah, well, this specifics are for sure, but like just like propaganda and making things look like one thing, and then like
propaganda.
Jumping right into it, like when you meet the rebels in District 13 and you think President Coin is this person who wants to like liberate the country, but she's like, no, we're gonna take the people in the capital and make our own games and make them suffer. And it's like the cycle just keeps repeating. And when Katniss shoots her instead of Snow,
iconic,
so thrilling, so incredible.
It's like,
and like when you're reading that or watching it and you're like, oh, it's President Snow's execution, like here we fucking go, deserved. But like Snow or Coin in her own way just as bad. Like she just like the point isn't to punish, and it's to all live in peace and harmony. And there are unfortunately, I think,
world peace,
similar vibes like that in our own world. Again, not necessarily one-to-one, but that's kind of the narrative.
Yeah, it's pretty,
and I think it's
fucking deep,
pretty interesting. And the other interesting thing is how the first series had like a love triangle within the book. They were trying to make a point of like, oh, TV show, reality shows, people pull for the romance, but they're using their romance to survive. Meanwhile, the movies are like, hey, this is about a love triangle.
Yeah,
when it's not about a love triangle. It's about survival. It's about the government corrupting everyone.
Yeah.
And Gale,
not about,
and like
Gale wasn't even part of the...
Gale ever really a fucking option?
Gale gave nothing.
What did he give? He gave gaslighting. He gave making her feel guilty for for not liking him back, and then for like having trauma.
Did he smile once?
Did he give anything?
Did he give literally
Did he pull
anything?
Once? The only time she ever like kissed him, and we're a little separated from the books, but like in the movies at least, it's because he starts making her feel bad.
Because there are two teams. I really don't get that.
I don't get that. Like love triangles are dumb in general, because like when you have one, like I guess in this you could say like, oh, it's like the boy from like her childhood versus the boy that she met in the games, and he's like, even District 12 is like one of the like poorer districts, but like Peeta's kind of from the more quote unquote wealthy for District 12 side. He has a family business.
Yeah.
So he was a little like
bacon.
out of like reach for like them being friends. But then he was actually in love with her the whole time. When he says, there's a girl I have a crush on, and Caesar Flickerman's like, well, maybe now she'll notice you and you can go back to her when you win the games. He's like, well, that's not possible for me.
That's not possible.
Because she came here with me. Are you kidding?
That's drama. And that's what the people live for.
And then like Gale, he was at any point an option. There are people that are Team Gale.
People are full on Team Gale.
Are you kidding me?
I really don't see it.
And a lot of people are just like, well, he's the more attractive one. And I'm like,
okay.
And what about his personality? What about him cheating on Miley? Can we
Gale
talk about
cheating
that?
on Miley.
Fucking Gale, man.
Gale did that.
Anyway, I'm sure we'll
I guess
take any opportunity to roast Gale, but
people were younger, they were like, oh, he's more attractive, so that's why I'm going to be on his team, but not paying attention to any of the stuff that either of them are saying or doing.
Like
they're like, oh, more. A triangle, whoever's cuter.
And honestly, obviously, to each their own, but
obviously, maybe you should like personality too.
But even then, in my humble opinion,
I think
Peeta's cuter.
Yeah, Peeta is cute. And he also smiles every once in a while.
Case closed.
He also has a personality, like, sorry.
Yeah, and he's just a good guy. And at the end of the day, no matter like who did what, Katniss didn't need Gale because she was fire and Gale was fire. And you know what? She needed her dandelion in the spring to calm her, to make her feel safe. And that's on Team Peeta.
Yeah. Peeta needed to disguise himself as a rock.
Could Gale do that? No.
Everyone's killing
Did he
each other,
decorate the cakes at the bakery and he knew how to disguise himself using mud and leaves? No.
And be a fucking rock.
And be a fucking rock.
Her rock.
Her rock.
Her rock.
Her pearl in the oyster. Wow.
Yeah. Short king.
Gangs matter.
Peeta, like, is literally one of the best written men ever. Like,
I wish men were real.
I wish men were real. Like, Suzanne Collins did that. Like, that's a good man.
Just a great fictional character all around, but specifically, like, men stand up.
Like,
the blueprint.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Peeta.
Peeta.
But yeah, the games is not about love.
No. I took back to that. This isn't about romance, but Peeta wins.
But
Peeta takes it.
Peeta's taking it.
Fucking man.
Gale, I can't even.
No.
I can't even spend any more time on that fail.
Let's talk about the real star, Haymitch.
Yes!
When the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes came out, the book, I was like, why isn't it about Haymitch? And I know that, like, in Mockingjay, they give you a little bit more in the book than in the movie, and they kind of tell you about Haymitch's game.
Yeah.
But I love a little, like, a novella, a short story.
I think they should do it.
Something. There's so much room to play in this
they
world.
could do, like, so many of the games.
And
I would eat them up.
And they could do, like, a games, like, the 30th games, where, like, maybe, like, President Snow is president at that point, but, like, no one else is there. Like, I'd read about any point in time.
No, I would literally read about every year.
Yeah. Like 75 more books or like 70 books.
Like, there's so much time for them to play with.
Yeah.
And then they already have so many characters with all the, like, victors and whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
I have a pitch, like, Suzanne Collins, like, write a book where, like break it up into a few parts, and it's like Finnick's story, Joanna's story,
tell us about
Annie's
all of them.
story, Haymitch. What was Effie's life like? Like, it doesn't need to be a full novel. Like, I don't think we need. Snow has a good enough story that gives us 500 pages worth. Mm-hmm. But I'd like 50 pages on literally any of those.
Yeah,
characters.
like a book of short stories of them.
Alternate universes. What if fucking Rue won? I don't know. Like, there's so I would eat anything up.
I would eat anything up. Suzanne Collins slays.
Slay
mama. That's mother.
And she just minds her business. Like, let's talk about that. There's so many authors that won't shut the fuck up, and I don't think I need to name them. I think we all know.
That won't shut the fuck up.
She who shall not be named.
Yeah.
Suzanne Collins just minds her fucking business and then disappears.
For years.
And then comes back to slay.
And then comes back and slays.
And that's all we ask. And she delivers every time.
Yes.
Love her.
Love her.
But yeah, so many great characters. I think Haymitch, Effie. Cinna. What a team. I love Finnick and Joanna.
Yes.
My man Finnick, I think the worst, in my opinion, the worst death in the first trilogy.
That didn't need to happen.
I
agree.
Sorry, like, if I could reverse anyone's death, and let me know if you have, like, a different one in mind, but, like, as, like, if I had the choice to take anything back in the Hunger Games, he'd be who I'd revive. Sorry, Prim.
I think, Finnick, I feel like, was the least, like, or, like, it didn't need to happen. Like, I feel like other ones were like, ooh, it pulled, or it made sense. It pushed the story forward. Yeah. But also it was tragic for Prim because her sister, like, literally went into the games to let her live, and then she gets blown up. By who?
The Prim Reaper. Gale Abernathy.
Is that?
No, that's Haymitch's last name.
Yeah!
Gale Hawthorne. You were like, I'll let her have it. You were like, no, let me go with it. I was like, no. I'm going to get shut down. I'm a big fan. I go canon.
Sorry, I can't remember Gale.
Sorry. Yeah, he's not relevant enough for me to remember his fucking last name. Sorry. The Prim Reaper.
Prim Reaper.
In fucking scene.
I feel like that was a little
It's another reason,
rough.
like, he just was like, we got to punish those people. Katniss is like, it's not like, if we're killing people, we're just as bad as them. He's like, well, we deserve it. Same thing. Like,
yeah.
Bro
was crazy. He had too much screen time in Mockingjay.
Him being the third one on the cast list.
I'm like, get the fuck out. I do not care. I already watched Hunger Games and Catching Fire without your ass all over it. Like, get the fuck out.
Even in Catching Fire and Hunger Games, he was the third name in the credits.
That's crazy.
What?
Because I feel like, I don't know.
And,
like, he just gets nothing.
At that point,
I'm like roasting
At
him.
that point, like, all veteran actors, fucking Woody Harrelson, Elizabeth Banks, Lenny Kravitz, all of them are more famous. It's not like he had, like, you know how sometimes, like, when you're more famous, you might be in the, like, Gwyneth Paltrow in Spider-Man Homecoming, she's in the last 2 minutes of the movie, but her name is, like, fifth.
Because she's
but
so
it's
popular.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah.
Like, she's famous. She, like, has that notoriety.
Yeah.
What did he have? The last song? And that gets him third billing. Fucking Jennifer Lawrence was already an Oscar nominee. Josh Hutcherson paved the way for literally everyone. Was in Bridge to Terabithia. Best. What's the one you always say?
Firehouse Dog, bitch.
The Thorough. That's the one with Kristen Stewart. Like, my man was acting down.
He was acting down
from Northern Kentucky, from Union, Kentucky. Let's fucking go.
Buddy.
Yeah, let's slot that in. We're from the same town.
Hey, I went to the same elementary school as Josh Hutcherson.
He went to our high school for one semester.
Can't you say slay mamas?
Team PETA. And that's on Team PETA.
He came to my library and he signed my Bridge to Terabithia book.
And what about that? Did Liam
Hemsworth come to my library and sign my book? My Bridge to Terabithia book? I don't think
Did I bump into Liam Hemsworth's brother at the football game in high school? I mean, I saw him at Comic-Con. I saw Chris Hemsworth at Comic-Con, but I didn't see him by the pirate ship at our high school football game.
This is so...
Did Jennifer Lawrence also from Kentucky? Yes.
Did Jennifer Lawrence live the town over? Did live the town over?
Did Liam Hemsworth work at Kings Island for a summer like fucking Woody Harrelson? No.
Did Liam Hemsworth's brother coach me in speech and debate?
Maybe if Liam Hemsworth stepped foot in Kentucky once.
Maybe if he took a bite of Kentucky Fried Chicken, he would have...
Maybe if he fucking walked across the Cincinnati Ohio River on the Purple People Eater Bridge. We'd give him something.
Maybe we'd give him something, but what's he from Australia?
Maybe he could describe the sweet taste of Skyline chili. Okay.
It's just an hour of Gale.
Okay, we gotta move on. But
but
I fucking love the Hunger Games.
Yes, it's in my veins.
Okay, enough on that. We'll hit some highlights when we hit our last segment. But I think it's time to talk about Boss, and by Boss, I mean the Ballad of Songbirds. And
I was like, who?
When people called that, I was like,
what?
Because I always see tbosas.
It's such a same. It's a long fucking name.
Yeah.
But slay mamas.
But work it. Wow, what a treat. To once again be gifted a glimpse into the Hunger Games universe.
Wow,
and it's just as fucked up as it is in the 75th year as it is in the
It's 10th. Like so it's more fucked up. Those bitches were in the zoo.
In the zoo. I wrote a list. So, like, something I think is really interesting. So, it takes place in the 10th Hunger Games. And, like, seeing the differences. Yeah. Obviously, it's a 60-year something difference. And President Snow is literally, like, an 18-year-old.
He's like a little
twink. I said twink because I was like, should I say twink? But he said twink, so that's also true.
He is.
And he looked good doing it. And he's just, like... At that point, like, he's in the Capitol. He's definitely privileged. He definitely was rich once, but his family now with his grandmam and his cousin Tigress are struggling. But he's still kind of a punk, but, like, he kind of, like, has a little bit of, like, oh, well, maybe the Capitol isn't always right. Maybe the games aren't the best idea, but, like, what are we supposed to do? Versus my man Sejanus is like, fuck this. And he's like, well, maybe you're right, mind. But, like, what are we supposed to do about that? That's kind of the vibe.
Yeah.
But something I thought was really interesting was to see all the differences. Yeah, in the 75th Hunger Games, 74th, by that point they have like a tribute center. They have a training center.
They're freaking living.
They're like, we're gonna give them a very, very like happy send off. Like they're like, they can eat all the food, live in luxury, all this technology, all this attention, all this love. Yeah. That was them into the games. But in this, they put them in the fucking zoo.
I was like,
when I was reading that, I was
like I didn't think it could get worse. Like, and they dumped them. I was reading it. I said,
that is something they
dumped
don't
them out.
Mention unless I missed it, because I have like a list. Like, they in the 10th Hunger Games, it's Snow's idea. They add bedding and they add gifts, sponsors.
Yeah.
So like that's something, and that's smart. That's strategic.
He has to write his proposal.
Yeah, he proposed all this shit, and then was also like, we got to force the bitches to watch. No one's watching. No one even has a TV in half these places. So they're like, let's get everyone a TV. But they never mentioned, like, I wonder when in time they start, like, accommodating them better.
Yeah.
By letting them train and letting them, like, eat.
By letting them literally
just smuggle her fucking sandwiches and stuff.
Dr. Gale wasn't even gonna let, was thinking about, not even letting the victor live.
Yeah, they were like, let her win!
Yeah, they had to beg to, let someone, it's totally different,
Yeah. They don't even get anything if they win, they just ship him back.
Ship him,
And that's what I was looking up in the epilogue. I was trying to remember all the other things. After, Snow comes back at the end, they add in Victor's Village. They end up, awarding the districts. They want people to actually, root for these people. They're like, well, if our tribute wins, then our whole district gets food and money. The tribute gets food and money for the rest of their lives. Gets their, nice bougie home.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. Let me look.
And it was it
was the first time they did mentors, too.
Yeah, first time they had mentors. First time they had a host.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Dang. I confirm that is the grandfather.
Okay. Love that it runs in the family. They're all just
Rachel and Tom were on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen.
Yes.
And Francis Lawrence was in the audience, and he was like, you can play the dad.
Yeah.
He's like, can I be in it? Can I be, somewhere in the family? He's like, well, that's the grandpa if you want to be the dad.
Yeah. True.
He's like, make a fifth be of Hunger Games and throw me in.
It's so funny. Just throw me in.
Iconic. He was, obviously they need, for these stories are so dark, there has to be a little bit of, comedic relief. He knocked it out of the park. Jason Schwartzman, because he was in the books, but I loved the way they did it because I think they were separate in the books. It was they would have a camera in the room with the mentors, and Lucky was off somewhere else.
Yep.
But I liked that change from the book.
Him going to the weather, so casually,
and someone's dying
in the districts,
and it's still raining,
and it's so and then
he was like, guys, someone was like, sit in the back, you're gonna be out of here soon. That was the dean, I think.
Yeah.
That, but he was like, they're not gonna last long. He was just the comments
he just didn't give a fuck.
And he was he's like, that's what happens when you do something.
I was like, God.
Every one-liner. I wish we were in a theater, obviously, so we couldn't write things down. But I was like, I wish I could write down everything he said because he was so funny. But they did mention the baby, Caesar Flickerman's daddy.
Yes. I see it.
A lineage.
I wish we knew
what happened to Caesar after the end of Mockingjay.
I know.
Did
That's
he
what
live
I was
or die?
curious about. Where is Caesar?
I don't know if he made it out.
I feel like he didn't make it out.
Yeah, he was a little bit too close to home. Love him. When I went into this knowing that he was a mentor, I thought they had mentors every year, because as we know in the later games, the mentors are the old winners.
Yeah.
But there's only been 10 Hunger Games, so there's not a winner in each district.
There's not a winner, so they're making the students who are never going to be in the games.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, that's why. But it was no, we've never done this before. We're just trying something new. They're like, we'll probably not do that again because you guys got a little too close for comfort.
Yeah.
So we got to figure that out. Maybe we'll make everyone else, train everyone else.
Yeah.
And make the people who win just relive it every year after every year.
God.
I wonder how long it took to do that because I think they need at least 12 years to have a victor from each thing. But Lucy Gray.
Yeah.
She's not around.
She's not around.
Do you think she's alive?
Yes. Well, I don't know. Because I don't know where she... Or I think she, made it out of there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I love that they left that open. I love that they didn't kill her because, or, show or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I just think...
Sorry, people are at the dumpster.
Sorry, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, I agree that it's open. Because in my head, I don't know the map. I don't know where the districts are. Yeah. She went north, but I'm like, that girl went to District 13,
yeah,
right?
That's what I'm thinking. But in the movie, when they showed it, but it wasn't, real, I was like, I swear to God, if they kill... I was about to be pissed because I love that they didn't, and I thought they were just going to kill her in the movie and show that it was killed.
That would have been insane.
I like that she got away.
Made it even more unhinged.
Yeah.
But yeah, so our man, Coriolanus Snow.
I looked at her.
Our man. Our guy. Our main
our
guy.
Pal.
Our buddy, our pal, our good old trusty Coriolanus Snow is just, trying to do his job. He just wants money. So I guess we should break down some of the differences from the book to the movie.
Yeah.
There was obviously a lot. The book is 500 pages. That's almost twice as long as a Hunger Games book, and they broke the second one up, the third one up.
Yeah.
So I was like, I already know going into this, they're gonna have to change things.
Leave a lot.
And, like, that's fine. Like, I think a movie and a book can stand alone because in books you get details that, like, build the story that you can't get in a movie because it's not, like, a constant voiceover.
It's, like, inner thoughts, too.
Yeah, and you can't explain, like, Sejanus' whole family dynamic without taking forever to, like, slot that in. Like, his mom wasn't even that much in it. Like, they didn't build up his relationship, Coriolanus' relationship with the mom. I feel like that's something, like, there are plenty of details I'm like, okay, that does make it better to include the detail, but there's just not enough time, so it's fine. But I'm bummed they didn't play up his relationship with Sejanus' mom, because that makes him betraying and then continuing a relationship with their family even more fucked up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the movie makes him look, like, a little better.
Just because there's not enough time
like,
to really show.
Because there's not enough time, because, like, when they were explaining all the, like, they explained, like, literally everything and all his thoughts, like, going through, like, everything and his jealousy and whatever. And possessiveness to Lucy Gray. Like, all of that was just, like, it's too hard to show in a movie without, like, I don't know.
Having, like, narration or spending, like, another hour.
Yeah, so I am glad that I read the book because I could, like I knew that information, like, and then watching it.
That's
why,
like, I asked, like, we went for a work event. We were actually sponsored.
Thank you.
We actually NCM for sending us to the movie.
Thank you.
If anyone else wants to send us or give us pre-screenings to review,
we'll review. We'll select.
One of my coworkers I talked to hasn't read the books.
Yeah.
So, like, we just read the book, like, on us for being late to the game, but, like,
it was fresh.
Like, I finished it morning of.
Yeah.
So, like, I knew so much where, like, I could follow the movie and be like, well, actually, he's doing this because of this, even if in the movie they don't explain that. So I'm like, does this movie, like, make sense to someone who hasn't read the book?
That's what I was thinking.
I was like, but then, like, my coworker was like, oh, I loved it. Like, I thought it was, like, really interesting, like, a really well-done movie, and, like, followed the story. And, like, we didn't get to talk that long, so I kind of want to talk to more people who didn't read it, just to be like, so do you think this? Do you think he's a good guy? Where do you think? Because, like, people's opinions are going to be different because they don't have as much, like, detail to back up their opinion. But then, so I'm kind of want to, like, I'm definitely going to watch it before, like, a year from now, but I want to, like, be separated enough from the book and
watch it again.
And watch it again to have a little less, like of a blurry
I was literally going through the book and, like, remember, and, like, oh, this is next, and then it wouldn't happen. And then I was like,
or, like,
oh.
It would happen for 5 seconds.
And then I'm like, do people get the depth of what we just learned? Do people get
yeah. Okay. So, yeah, Sejanus' storyline, they, like, one thing I understood was, like, the plinth prize.
Yeah.
Like, the way that there was, like, a prize for the students, but then later there was a plinth prize. Like, there are things in the book that, like, only make sense because you have 500 pages to kind of distinguish it. But in a movie, you're going to be like, why is there 5 different monetary success things? So I get why they, like, made the prize, like, the initial, like, start of the movie versus introducing that later as, like, trying to pay off his son's, like, fucking up in the games.
Yeah.
So, like, I got that, and, like, there are changes like that where I'm like, fine. Like, in the original Hunger Games, when they got rid of, like, the mayor's daughter who actually gave Katniss the pin and was the person that helped Peeta, like, there's not enough time to add, like, another character. So, like, I get when those are the changes. But, yeah, to take away just how much he was, like, manipulating Sejanus and his family.
Yeah.
And there is gray area. Like, I definitely think he cared about, like, him and Lucy. Like, there's definitely, like, conflicting opinions there. But, like, Bro basically got adopted by the parents of the kid he had killed.
Yeah, that he got murdered.
And they don't explain that in the movie.
Yeah, like, I was crying. And, like, and what I liked about the book is throughout the whole book, you can literally, like, you can feel kind of where he's coming from in a way, but also you can see, like, little dabs of, like, like, just everything. Like, I'd be like, oh, but then there's, like, this little thing that he'd say, and I'd be like, bro, and then he just got, like, more unhinged. He shaved his head. He got unhinged. But, like, yeah, I'm like, I feel like the third part, like, was, like, rushed.
Yeah, I definitely think they didn't have enough time. Like,
yeah.
And it's like the balance of like they told a complete story in the time they had, but did they tell it to the degree the book did? Of course not. And I don't think that's necessarily like a problem. Like I don't necessarily think it's bad. It's just hard to try to make the exact same impact. Like you can explain his story, but in the book you get so much more insight into like things that are relatable, but also things that are like, whoa, okay, crazy bit. Something that, and maybe you'll remember differently, I don't think they showed a little bit of animosity from Tigress, though. Like how in the movie, she was like, okay, don't like become like your dad. Yeah. Was that like as much in the books? So I feel like they were just kind of like, she was like supportive of him, but was still like, oh, the games are kind of like, what would you do if you were in the games? Like, she had definitely sympathy in both stories. But I feel like in the movie, they gave, like, this hint of, oh, they're definitely going to have a falling out, and he's going to exile her.
Yeah. Yeah, at the end, it was clear that she was, like...
They were on their way
down. Fuck.
Because she was like, you don't want to become like your father. And he was like, okay. And then at the end, when he's in his fucking fit, and his hair grew back out, and it was slicked back, she's like, you look like your dad.
Yeah. Like, Tigress was, like, hoping so... for him to be, like, different. Yeah. But then, like, you have his grandma who's, like, let's go to the Capitol, like, go. Like, that was, like, in the first page or something, her singing that song. Like, I was like, damn, this is a patriot. And then Tigress is, like, quieter and, like, but kind of still for the Capitol, but... Yeah.
When you don't know, it's like ignorance is bliss. Like when you don't know any better. Yeah. Not that makes it okay, but like you're like, okay, but like.
But that line, Tiger said the end was cunty as fuck. Like you look like your dad.
That was so good. That was like one of my favorite. Again, like maybe something like that was in the books, but like that was one of those things where I was like, oh hell yeah. Especially knowing like what they did with Mockingjay, having a character, like the Tigress character, and you're like, wait a minute.
Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. I love how they connect, like the ways they connected because like it's been so many years, and like you could always see Snow like looking at Peeta and Katniss as like with a little like, and just to see, and then the Mockingjay, like everything, like it's just like
they had that a little bit in the movie, but in the books, like every time he sees a Mockingjay, he's like, I immediately hate him.
We're like, he already knows.
So it's like, think about Snow in the 74th Hunger Games, and he's like, oh, a Mockingjay? Interesting. Oh, you're from District 12?
No,
interesting.
Literally.
Oh, you love him and didn't leave him? Oh, interesting.
Like if you think of all that, it's like
she's singing the Hanging Tree. Oh, yeah, interesting.
I love having that background because it's like he's doing something so extreme, and it's like, why? Like there has to be like, why? And now we finally have that. Like I don't know. It's like crazy.
It's done in a way, like I think in a way where it's like it's retroactive. Like it's not like Suzanne Collins, at least as far as I know, didn't write this first. Yeah. Like she wrote Hunger Games first, so she already was like, oh, here's how it's seeded in. But it's done in a way where it's not like it's Katniss's ancestor. Like it's not too on the nose. Yeah. But it's like little sprinkles of like the Mockingjay.
He's like triggered.
The song, the district. Like it's done in a way that's like simple but effective. Yeah. And I eat it up.
And then like the edits connected. I eat that shit up.
Good. So good. Yeah, the song and like the fact that she's singing the song as she's like escaping, and the Mockingjays or Jabberjays echoing. Oh man. Oh, that's haunted him for his whole fucking life.
Yes. And then I don't even know what to say.
Something else I liked, and they did this part in the movie where the little Katniss plant. And the way they did in the movie Swamp was potato. Like, you know, like if you've read it, like it's building up like she's about to say Katniss, she's about to say Katniss. Where in the book I was like, they did it.
No, I saw the word.
But I don't know, I caught this, and I don't know if this is me like reading into it too much, but reading about like all the District 12 stuff, like when they mentioned the Hob and they mentioned the Seam and they mentioned all the things, and then like when they were trying to find like Lucy Gray's home, they're like walking through District 12 and they're like, wait a minute, let's stop in the bakery and see if they know. And I'm like, the bakery?
The bakery? Peeta!
Is that Peeta's family? Peeta's bakery? Is that Mellark Bakery? 60 years ago? Is it a family business?
Yeah, all the like.
So that was like teeny tiny, but I was like, I think they did that on purpose, and I think it's the Mellark Bakery. I love that. Mm-hmm. And then like, they didn't really, maybe they mentioned it or showed it, but like Heavensby Hall was like the place, like Plutarch, Heavensby. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Caesar Flickerman's father. Like, they had, like, little nods to some of those, like, family dynasties, but...
Yeah. I think they, like, connected it enough for it not to, like, for it to be good, but not too, like, out of, like...
Yeah, like,
it was
doing it
60
just to do
years
it.
ago.
Yeah.
But, God.
I think it was, like, so well done.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I'm trying to think of other differences or something.
Yeah, let's stay on that topic.
One of my biggest beefs is Clemencia.
Oh, where was she?
What the fuck? As soon as she gets bitten by a snake, gone.
I loved her, like, in the book. Like, and she was in 1 second.
And I feel like her getting, like, bitten and then, like, developing, like, the, like, scales or whatever the fuck, like, that was also, like, Easter eggy and, like, building up to, like, Snow's backstory and all that stuff, too. And that was completely erased. And maybe they filmed it and just didn't have room. But the fact that she didn't even come back and participate in the games at all, like, it was down to the two of them in the book. And then this one, he's like, oh, I won. And I was like,
no, literally, I was like, ugh, because...
Clemmy!
I love Clemmy! I was like, where the fuck is Clemmy?
So I know they're not going to be able to go into depth with, like, all the things.
The hospital scene, like,
completely
everything.
Gone.
Like,
and, like, the fact that he didn't, and then in tandem to that, he wasn't there during the interview. What the fuck?
Yeah.
He had to watch it from the hospital? I get that they had to cut corners. I do. But, like, completely cutting out, like, Clemencia's, is that my saying her name right? Clemmy?
They all have insane
that
names.
Fired me. Man. I said, are you kidding?
Are you kidding? Yeah, I was pissed about that.
That was, like, probably my least favorite thing they changed. Yeah.
That was a big change, too. Like,
yeah. I feel like...
What else did... I don't know.
Yeah. And then, obviously, just cut little things here and there. Like, it's gonna happen.
This isn't this big, but, like, was it... He walked out during another one of Lucy Gray's songs, right? It wasn't the...
No.
Because when he walked out during that song, I'm like,
so sad.
Are you kidding? Like,
there were, like, 7 more songs in the book, and I get that they couldn't do all of them, but, like, that made me so sad. Yeah. And I'm like, I get that, like, this isn't, like, a fully blown, like, real relationship, but I was like, you can't leave during your song. You can't leave. Your girlfriend is playing you a song that she wrote.
I just think that, like, so built their relationship more to make it more tragic in the end.
Yeah.
Like, that's why, I don't know, like, some of that stuff.
Yeah, I feel like they should have, again, I know it's all timing, but I wish, because I do think that he loved her in the way that he could have loved her. I don't think it was pure, like, good love, but I think he did care about her a lot for sure, and I don't know that we got enough of, like, because I don't, and, like, it was, unless it happened when I went to the bathroom for 2 minutes. They only kissed, like, once.
Yeah, they only
were,
kissed
like,
once.
making out. They went on, like, a couple little dates here and there.
They were, like, kind of, they didn't kiss, but they were, like, when you came, like, halfway through, they were, like, pretty close, and that was pretty intimate. But they didn't have very many, like, and then the lake scene was shorter, like, everything, and there was just a song playing over it.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, just, like, that and Sejanus, like, both of their relationships just didn't seem as, like built up.
Where it would be like,
yeah.
Because, like, in the book, they kiss before she even goes into the games. And I feel like that makes their relationship more drawn out.
Yeah.
And, like, Sejanus, too, like, I think they cut a lot of, like, the Peacekeeper stuff. Because I feel like they bonded a lot during that experience. And then, of course, they bonded during the games and things like that. But, yeah, again, I think it just comes down to time.
It really does.
At the same time,
I try to look at it in a different lens, but it is hard when you just read
the book. I hope there's deleted scenes. That wasn't what I was going to say. But I was just like,
she's in outfits that weren't.
I know. Yeah. Praying for those times.
We need some deleted scenes.
Oh, shit. I lost it. Okay, I'm just going to talk about a different thing, but hopefully the other thing comes back. Similarly, not building up Sejanus in his relationship as well as the relationship with the mom.
Yeah.
Like, you barely fucking see the mom. But, like, one of the most chilling parts of the book, and they do it in the movie, I just don't think it hits quite the same unless you read the book, is when the Jabberjays echo, Mom,
I know. Mom. That, like, in the books, ugh.
But it, like, makes it even worse when you know that, like, you know that Snow, like, was responsible for that. but you also know that he is directly, like, his mom thinks the world of Snow.
Yeah.
And, like, to have Snow hear the mom.
And the care packages from her. Like, they didn't show as many care packages and stuff. Or whatever. And then, like, all the ma. And then hearing that in the book, like, it just wasn't shown, like, it didn't have the same intensity.
I know what I was going to say. The only way they would have been able to do anything, like, more would be to break it up into 2 movies. But the story, like, you can't break it up. Like, there's no, like, place where you're like, okay, beginning and end, unless they did, like, a little, like, short film for each, like, part. So I think my other coworker and I were talking about it, texting, and she was like, I just felt like it was really long and, like, there wasn't as much of a climactic end. And I think it's just different when, like, you look at the Hunger Games, and the climactic end is always the end of the Hunger Games, where the Hunger Games is only a third of this movie. It's really just, like, a character study, more or less. But in the book, you're getting so much detail about this character that just, not that, it's really hard to, like, look at the movie separately. I think the movie probably does do a good job of, like, explaining it within the world of the movie without, like, needing all the details. But it would have just hurt so much more to, like, have, like, their relationship start earlier, have it be more involved, because then it, like, would have hurt more.
It would have, like, it would have had more of an impact in the end. Like, I feel like it was just, like...
Yeah, and also, like, her, like, family, like, they barely got anything, and I feel like that, when you have more stakes of, like, other people involved, that makes it hurt more.
He just turned into a cunty Draco Malfoy, and then called it a day, and then stared at the statue.
Yeah, I was okay.
Like... But the 2 lines, that, what's his name? What's his name?
The Dean?
Yeah.
Highbottom? Dean
Highbottom!
Yeah.
He has some cunty
What a great character.
What a great character and a great actor for it. Like,
Dinklage! Peter Dinklage!
Peter Dinklage and Viola Davis, like, bodied those characters. Like, that's, like, the perfect casting.
Yeah.
Like, they're just good actors. Like,
yeah. But, like, nailed exactly, like, how crazy and fucked up Gale had to be. And then, like, when you think he's just a dick the whole time.
He's just, like, stressed out.
He's stressed because he knows he's responsible for this. And he didn't want to be. Snow's fucking dad made it happen. And I loved learning that. Yeah. That's one of my favorite parts. It's in the movie, it's in the book. Like, that's one of the best things ever, is learning that Snow's dad is the reason why there's a fucking Hunger Games.
So it's a whole, And
the Dean just fucking drinks himself to death because he knows he's doing a bad thing by sending these people to death. But then if he fights against it, he'll just be dead. Like, whoa.
Yeah. The fact that it started because he was a drunken talk. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah.
He's just shooting the shit.
He's just shooting the shit.
And then all of a sudden he's the Hunger Games are happening.
Angry, and then Snow's dad's like, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
And now he's like so stressed out.
And then when Snow fucking poisons him.
I was like, are you kidding? He kept killing people or, like, hurting people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we got to talk about Lucy a little bit more before we, like, run out of time. What a great fucking character. I like what Rachel Zegler kept saying. Katniss was a fighter, forced to perform. Lucy Gray was a performer, first to fight. Like,
that quote changed my life.
The parallels between them, they're completely different, but, like, they're parallel enough where you know that Snow sees Katniss and he sees Lucy Gray in her, even just a little.
The bow.
The bow.
And she improvised that, apparently. That's amazing.
That's what we need more people who know their fucking shit, man.
Studied.
Yeah. Same thing with, side note, like, the fucking Olivia Rodrigo song.
She studied, too. She knew her shit. Like, it's exactly.
I heard the song before I read the book, and then I read the book, and when I heard the song the first time after reading the book, I was like, whoa!
At the very end, I was listening to that song on repeat while reading it and crying.
Insane.
That's just
unhinged.
Like, you got people who know their shit, and she is the perfect Lucy Gray. Like, and she has a beautiful voice. Yeah. Sing it, girl.
So true.
The Snow song kind of slaps.
No, I was so excited to hear the songs because when I read them, I'm like, what's
I know, I was just reading them like,
even in the first Hunger Games, I was like, are you coming to the tree? Like, what the fuck is
this? Need a monotone.
You're like,
and I was like, okay.
But no, they all sound fire.
they said she went off.
Buy the soundtrack, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, no note. She slayed. Josh slayed as Sejanus.
Yes.
That's my fucking best boy.
Cute.
My number one boy.
Yeah. My number one boy.
Yeah.
Who else?
Lucy. I mean, Hunter was amazing as Tigress.
Hunter slayed. Perfect
Yeah, everyone was perfect.
Tiger. Like, it was perfect casting. Like,
no, and it's also tricky because I read the book knowing the cast, but like when I was picturing it,
them.
but like they all just like they did a good job in the movie, and they all just like visually too. Like I felt like when I was picturing like this like sweet like frustrated like guy like Sejanus, I was like, oh Josh,
no,
like
he has such a little sweet face, but he's losing it. And then he dies. Him being from District made it so interesting. Like him knowing and then knowing the person he's mentoring. Like,
okay.
What?
Wait, so something I didn't. This is what I think I wouldn't have thought about when I was like 12 reading these is the fact that Lucy was purposely raped because she fucked over the mayor's daughter.
Yes.
So like,
and she puts the snake.
Yeah, like so they like manipulated that so she'd get pulled, and there was maybe I think another person or two in the 10th Hunger Games where they were purposely pulled too. So people think like a popular theory. Again, it's been so long since I read the book. I don't know if it's more implied in the book at all. But like that Prim had one name in the bowl. Like how the fuck did she get picked when everyone like Katniss had 40 of her names in the bowl. So people like, think they purposely rigged it so it would be Prim.
Yeah.
Because Katniss was already like she wasn't rebelling, but she was like leaving the district, hunting outside of the district lines.
Like they figured she would volunteer.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So it's like I never thought about the fact that like they could rig who gets put in until I read this one. And I was like,
in their corrupt little fucking world, like
crazy. They're like, we can do whatever we want.
Yeah. That's fucked
I will say before I forget to say this, as fucked up it is, I've said this to you 10 times. I said this to my family 10 times. As fucked up as it is. When Snow makes the quarter quell, the 75th Hunger Games, from the existing pool of victors, when in District 12, there is only one female victor, and that is Katniss Everdeen. I have chills. Fucking genius. Like, it's obviously so fucked
sick
up.
And twisted.
So sick and twisted. But it's
he kind of slayed.
So good. And then the fact that it's like a 50-50 chance for Haymitch and Peeta, and if like it was Haymitch, Peeta was gonna volunteer, but if it was Peeta, Haymitch could volunteer. But like, and when Effie, fucking love Effie, she's so distraught. She's like, these are my kids, and I didn't expect to ever become attached to these people. I didn't even expect to have a winner in District 12, let alone 2. And she has to send both of like her surrogate children back in. God. When she pulls Haymitch's name out and she's relieved. Oh. But then Peeta volunteers and she has to send them both back in.
That's Catching Fire is insane.
Catching Fire, my favorite book.
Catching Fire is my favorite. It's just insane.
Yeah. But anyway, back to Boss. I think that had some of the worst deaths.
No, that was the most brutal, like, dark.
That's another thing. Sorry. This will take 2 seconds. Another thing, they are in the same arena every year.
Oh, I know. Instead of like
they switch
like Catching Fire is my favorite arena.
Yeah, but it's just interesting that in the original like 10 or so Hunger Games, they were just like using the same thing over and over again. I'm like, no one's gonna watch this because it's boring.
Because it's boring. They're all gonna do the same thing.
Up. Anyway.
Yeah, but
so fucking brutal and just sad.
All of them were so sad. Reaper, like, it made me so sad.
I think that part of it is also just because the games are so new at this point. Like. Versus, I feel like a lot of people, not like Katniss, but like obviously the career districts, like they haven't been built to go into the games at this point. Yeah. There are like the people like Coral, Slay, but she was like one of the people that was like, I'm fighting and I'm winning this.
Yeah.
But like that was more so in the future Hunger Games where more people were, I think, more brutal because they were doing it more often. It was the norm by this point. We're in like this one, like everyone's kind of like, I feel a little bad.
Yeah, I feel bad, but
we, like half of us are starving. Half of us have like tuberculosis. Like
yeah, everyone's dying
but
already.
That girl, the tuberculosis girl, she just wanted water,
and then Lucy crying. That's the worst.
And then like her district partner coming out and being like, no, and then like burying, like quote unquote burying all of them. Then the poor guy they had hanging, Marcus, like all of it was just so much sad. Like Rue's death, of course, is probably going to go down in history as the saddest Hunger Games death. But these are right up there. Kid.
Yeah, but and then what's Wavy? The snake.
Too. It happened so quickly.
Awful.
Like,
and like,
yeah,
I'm glad it went quickly because I'm like, I don't want to. But I really liked the tribute.
Yeah, me too. Again, wish we had more time.
I love them.
Love them. No notes.
Kind of icons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I really liked the second. Like, I liked the fight. Like, I thought it was. My heart was like during that whole second part. But going from that, and then I guess if you haven't read the book, and then going to part 3,
and you're like, what?
Like, okay,
it's not over with the games. It's like, no, buddy.
No, it's not over.
It's just about to
He's
get so much worse.
His head.
And he's got to shave his head and send his best friend, his brother, to his dad.
What the
God,
fuck?
that's fucking awful.
It's brutal. Like, this was like even more brutal.
But it's also just so good where you're just like, wow. Like, just seeing a villain become born. Because, like, I do think there is, like, a part of him in part 1 or something where it's, like, he's kind of neutral, honestly. Like, he isn't evil, but he's not, like, great. Like, he's not, like, fighting against this. But there are parts of him where he's like, well, maybe Sejanus is right. And then there's a part of him where he's fully about to run away with Lucy, and maybe none of this would have fucking happened again.
That's why I like a villain origin story. Like, I like a villain having some redeeming, like... Yeah. Because like the thing Lucy said, like, about people being good, but crossing the line, like, you usually have a reason or the way you grow up or, like, whatever, like, makes you, I think he really did care about these people in some way. He just, like, you could see him turning, like, more and more, especially, like,
power started to
losing his apartment, and he cared about his family. Like, you could tell he loved his family.
Yeah.
Like, his grandma and Tigress, like, but it just, I don't know, took over.
Yeah.
Now,
he just wanted power, man. Glory.
Power hungry fucker.
Everyone hungers for something.
If he could just, there's so many funny tweets. I don't even know what they are, but there's so many. This is what happens when you lose a bad thing. Or, like, I don't even know it.
Yeah, this is what happens when you lose a bad bitch. We're so back. Hunger Games is back. I love the Hunger Games fandom. Like, let's go.
I love all the content.
Yeah. Yeah, overall, it was so good. Like, the only thing you can say is that we wish there was more in it, but like, it's like the duality of understanding that that's not possible unless you're going to be there for 5 hours, which I would
sit there, but most people wouldn't.
Yeah. And like, there are things where it's like having a long book versus a long movie is a little different.
Yeah.
Like, you can't translate everything 1-to-1. So I forgive. I will say,
but I will never forget.
Never forget. Francis Lawrence. No, Francis Lawrence is king.
I love it.
And I think the ending, hearing Donald Sutherland's Snow voiceover, it's the things you love most that destroy us. Like,
that is so perfect.
I was hoping there'd be some little thing with like Presidents to Future Snow, and that was like,
that was perfect.
Like,
and that's a perfect line to use for the whole story they told, because like, that was literally what was ruining him. Like, he had, oh my God. Wow. I could talk about this for 12 hours.
Yeah. So fucking good. And with that said, Brie, how would you rank?
Oh my God.
Do you have the ranks? We were talking about this yesterday.
The ranks.
Where does this fit in?
I think
amongst the others, the movies, because we'll include both Mockingjays.
I think after Hunger Games.
So you'd go Catching Fire. Catching Fire's king.
Catching Fire, like.
And then Hunger Games is like.
Hunger Games is just classic.
Is
like,
that bitch? Yeah.
Like, I think the cinematography. The cinematography in this one was pretty freaking good. Like, what? You go. The snake scene, like.
Oh, the snake!
Yeah, like, I just think there was so many cool scenes.
Yes.
Like, that were like, ooh.
I think the arena scene, when it's like right when it first starts and you're following Lucy and it's kind of like on her, but then it like swings behind her. Like, if you see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like, that was like, you're kind of in it with her, but then you're also like her POV at the same time. Like, whoa.
I thought they had some cool ass shots in this
agree.
movie. Like,
except that one shot that made Tom Blythe's arm look so fucking
or there's some one thing about
me
just standing there. We're just
watching the most serious thing you've ever seen.
And we're like,
and it won't even be like, it'll just be like
one
Snow,
shot.
Tom Blythe just standing in a doorway. And like when Alfie will go
like, I'm like, why am I laughing right now?
We're in a packed theater full of my coworkers
and no one's laughing.
Also, we didn't say this, the way that the mechanics of the game is obviously being a little more old-fashioned, and like, it's not a canon when someone dies, it's just like them going out on the screen and it goes and I said Abby Lee Miller.
That's literally every time when we were like chuckling about that in the theater.
Kids are dying and we're like, dying. That sounds like Abby Lee Miller.
That sounds like, we're not serious people. This is why this is called unseriesous.
Yeah.
But
Catching Fire.
I think Hunger Games is second, just because like Hunger Games is just like it started
You
it all.
can't-
It's
you
iconic. I don't care. Like it
Come
has
at me.
to go second.
Yeah. Then Boss.
Then Boss.
And then Mockingjay Part 2.
Then
Then
part one. I think that's my ranking.
I fully agree.
Now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like
We might need to.
that's pretty.
We can come back. We're really in it with
no,
this one,
like
though.
I'm like we're like in it.
Yeah.
Like I'm fully in it.
Yeah.
We're like brain rot. But yeah, I would like you said like I would like to come back to this movie like being more removed from the book
Yeah.
because
To enjoy it for what it is.
to just like yeah.
And I
because
did enjoy
was
it.
So, yeah, I still enjoyed it even though I was like this didn't happen and I was one of those bitches because I haven't seen many movies where I read the book first because. Because I don't
Reading is
read.
lame.
No, I've
You're
been
a loser
reading
if you do it.
more,
Just
but
We're pro reading.
I'm trying to read. But I was like, this didn't happen, and I don't want to be like that. But like, that didn't happen.
It's hard, but it's fresh in your mind.
It
like
was
that.
fresh, and I was like
We're
crying.
like, why did they do this? Why did they do that? Why did they do this? I was like,
there
just wasn't time.
I was like,
yeah.
I was like, release the full tape.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 12 hours.
Release the Lawrence cut.
For
Okay.
real.
We're at fully an hour and we still have a game to play, so I think we should do a quick fire highs
Okay.
and lows.
Lows.
Favorite characters, and you can have a character from the original 3 and a new favorite character.
Okay. From the original 3.
Mm-hmm.
I can't pick one. Say it, Megan.
Peeta. The boy with the bread.
I wrote Katniss and Peeta.
Yeah, I also have.
I don't care.
I wrote Katniss, Finnick, Haymitch, Effie,
Yeah.
Joanna.
No, literally the whole squad. No, they were.
That's the big 6.
And, Finnick are the cuntiest people in the universe.
That's why I would live for knowing more about them.
Yeah. I think but Katniss and Peeta, like both of them, just like, especially rewatching it, like
They're great
They're the
fucking characters.
best characters.
It's
and, like,
such a good story.
yeah.
And then, like, it's not about romance, but their relationship is so beautiful. Like they're just truly... Something that Peeta does that Gale doesn't is, like, not guilt-tripping her. He's obviously upset when he finds out their whole relationship is built on lies. And he is reasonably a little frustrated about that, but then he's kind of like, let's fucking clear the slate. You know what? You don't owe me your feelings. I
Yeah.
get it. We all had to do things we did to
And they're
survive.
trying to live, yeah.
Let's clear the slate. Let's talk about our favorite colors, and let's move on.
Yes.
And he never makes her feel bad about that again. And they're constantly, he's there for her. He knows that he has feelings for her, but he's still going to be there for her. She's there for him when he gets hijacked.
And they're...
She helps him figure out what's real, and then when he says, "You love me, real or not real?" she says, "Fucking real," because it's fucking real, man.
How fast you just said all that.
No, I said wrong bond.
No, they're bond, and they're truly like bonded for life. Like,
Yeah, trauma bonding.
how are you gonna live? How are you gonna be with anyone else?
No,
Like,
they're so well suited for each other, regardless.
their dynamic, the contrast of them is just perfect. Like,
Exactly.
because I like how strong and powerful Katniss is, and just like
Yeah,
bad bitch.
but she deserves like a safe place.
But she has this person who like really cares about her and is so
Genuinely.
sweet and would do anything, and it's just so sweet.
Not to fully go off on a tangent, but like if I really had to like pick a top 10 like couple of all time, like they're in it. Like
I think
I
I
don't
would
know
agree.
where
I would
I don't know
agree.
where they fall because I don't know. Like that's a really hard list to make. But they're so special to me. Like every so often, like I come back to this.
Ooh.
Like I think I watch these movies almost once a year.
Yeah.
Like it's so special to me. Like I love them and love the story, love the relationship, love the characters.
They did that shit.
Yeah. Favorite from the new one?
Lucy Gray.
I wrote Lucy Gray instead of Janice.
Okay, yeah. And then I also wrote Tigress.
Oh yes.
Because I just like having more on Tigress, and I thought she was an
Yeah.
interesting character.
I would love to read more about what happened. Like, how does Snow become president? How does I would read even more of this.
And like being
shit. And then what happens to Tigress?
being like a designer in the games, like that's such a weird and interesting job. Like, I
Yeah.
don't
Well,
know.
it's like it's Cinna.
Yeah, it's Cinna.
And do you think when he killed Cinna, he was like,
No,
I was like,
literally.
that was my cousin.
That's like,
He didn't kill her though. He just turned her into a
Yeah.
fucking mutt. That's why I also thought it was interesting the fact that like Clemmy was sort of like becoming something like that. I'm like, that is like a perfect like
that was
escalation.
Yeah.
But no, they didn't do that in the movie. Anyway, that's honestly my biggest gripe. Is like I could write off everything else.
Yeah, I
except
just
for
feel like that was really important.
Yeah.
But
Least favorite characters?
Snow and Dr. Gao.
Yeah.
And Gale.
And Gale. I was like, wait.
We're forgetting someone. And Gale.
Anyway.
Wait, but that's another thing. Dr. Gao is like such an insane character because she was also like, especially in the books, was like asking them questions like, what is the hunger? Making them do all these assignments, like pretty much like making them like crazy.
Make the games worse.
Yeah, like I'm like, what is going on?
You have to love her because she's irredeemable.
She's freaking evil.
Like, you have to appreciate how evil she is.
How crazy she is.
Because you just know, like, that's who she is. And not that you support that, but, like...
And Viola Davis
And Viola Davis can do no wrong.
Did no wrong.
How?
She came out
with murdering 24 kids every year.
Unhinged. But, yeah. And Gale.
And Gale. Favorite moments.
Oh, my God. I have so many on here.
Yeah. I have a few key ones, mostly from the original trilogy.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for
the baby. I have that too.
You can't even. And then his little smirk and Hamish's little raising his glass. Perfect. I like anything with Effie, Hamish.
Yeah,
Finnick, not Finnick. Well, yes, Finnick, but like Effie, Hamish, Katniss, and Peeta, like the core four. The fact that Trinket, Everdeen, Abernathy, Mellark, that their names spell team. Like, that's so my family.
True.
My favorite thing is to go on Archive of Our Own or fanfiction.net and read sweet little, like, fan fictions about the four of them, like, living in peace after the games.
Yeah.
Like, that. And then, of course, like, Finnick is also special to me, so, like, and then pretending he's alive.
And then pretending!
Thank God for fanfiction. I wrote all of Catching Fire.
Yeah, just the whole freaking movie.
Shout out, I don't know if it was improv or they threw it in the movies, but like them giving a little nugget for the Effie and Hamish shippers by having a little kiss at the end.
A little kiss.
Eat that up.
Eat it up.
What about you from the original?
I said Peeta waving from train. That's such. They get there and he's just like. I'm like, huh? Katniss and Rue's relationship.
Yes.
Finnick and Joanna's like both of their introductions, iconic.
Oh, and then when they see each other and they're like, Finnick!
Yes.
Joanna!
Yeah. They're iconic. Make him pay for it, Joanna. Like, boom.
When she's like, why are you wearing my dress? Oh, Snow made you do it?
Make him pay for it. Like, badass.
Let's go.
The cinematography.
Yeah.
In Catching Fire is really good. Like,
TikTok. When they figure out the fucking clock. I fucking love Catching Fire. A whole episode of Catching Fire, I think.
No, literally. On all the movies.
Just me writing all of Catching Fire.
Just all of Catching Fire. Coin and Snow dying, LOL. I wrote that.
Babe.
LOL.
The whole town attacking Snow.
Iconic. Deserved.
Iconic. Turn on the Royals, season 2, episode 10.
I'm laughing though. He's unhinged. Okay, from the new movie.
I only have one.
Okay.
Well, I think it's all really good, but
yeah.
Something that I really liked, and I was getting nervous it wasn't gonna happen in the movie, was just like the story, the interweaving of the snakes knowing the scent and him putting the
and sliding it in
so it wouldn't hurt her. That's powerful.
Those
stuff.
cheaters.
Cheating's okay when it's with your soulmate, baby.
You said that.
I said it in the theater.
You said it in the theater. I said, huh?
So good. And there's obviously, like, I think, like, her musical moments are really great. Especially, like, I really like the one that she played, the moment where he sees her on the TV during the interview. I like that a lot.
She pops off. I said the snake scene, which I already kind of said. Mm-hmm. I just like the whole arena, like that whole scene or that whole just was like,
it was a really good game.
Had me like,
it's actually good games that year.
It's a good game. It was a really good game.
Really good game. Oh, that's Hunger. It's like That's one of my favorite games.
Oh, but it was so emo because like, oh god. But Snow giving Lucy the handkerchief thing, or I thought that was kind of
the
sweet.
compact.
Before he turned into a cunt.
Knowing where the rose stuff came from and then him using it as his calling
the
card
rose.
later.
What else did I say? Oh, I like Sejanus like how he somehow got into the thing, like that he got into
He was
the
there.
arena. Like I'm like, what?
Snow
Like
took
in
a
the
little
book,
nap
I was
and
literally
woke
like,
up.
what?
Yeah, I guess he bribed a peacekeeper.
He's just in there
Okay.
throwing bread, and then in the book when he's Snow's like, he's wasting bread. I'm starving.
Yeah, that's the little things I wish the movie had more of him just being like, okay,
Wasting.
that's my tribute. Like the way he spoke about her in his head.
I know. I was
Like, sometimes I was like, oh, he's like, oh, that's my girl,
no.
and she's writing a song about me, but then she'd be like, it's mine, and no one can look at her.
And then he'd be like, that boy back from the. He was like so like pissed.
Yeah. He's like, oh, she's singing about someone else, even though I just met her.
Even though we just met and we are lovers.
Awkward.
No.
Should we go to least favorite?
Yeah. Oh wait. Also, Snow's voice at the end. Slay.
Oh,
Slay mamas in
Slay
snow.
mamas. For least, I'm just gonna go really quick. Basically, it's all deaths.
Wait, mine too. Mine's a death.
Drew's death, the tuberculosis girl's death, the Phoenix death, Peeta's, and then I put Peeta's hijacking.
Oh yeah, that was awful.
And he attacks Katniss, and he's just sad.
And he chokes Katniss.
But you know what's like a high moment is like the way that Finnick looks out for Peeta. I also love
Slay.
their dynamic. Shout out, sorry. You
So
go.
okay, you go. I also said a lot of death. Rue's death, Finnick's death, Primrose death, Cinna's death.
Sejanus. I didn't even write the Sejanus.
Sejanus death, especially in the books, I said.
Yeah.
Gale, just as a
Existing.
whole. I wrote Gale. I wrote it in caps. Gale.
Gale. Yeah, when Katniss fucking kisses him, he's like, you didn't even mean that. It's like, you've been making her feel guilty for not kissing you, and then she kisses you, and you make her feel guilty. Fuck him. Like,
Let
fuck
it
him.
go.
Oh, when he's like, when Peeta, like, is like, everyone, we love the Capitol, like, anti-rebellion. And then Gale, fully knowing that he's being, like, used and abused over there, is like,
Yeah.
well, I would never do that. I don't care what they did to me. Like, Peeta's a fucking traitor. And I was like, fuck you.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Anyway, would you recommend the series?
Yes.
I recommend this to literally everyone. If you haven't seen Hunger Games,
No.
what are you doing? It shakes me to my core when I hear someone hasn't seen it.
How do I make my mom watch it? She would hate it.
I think we should all come over.
That would work.
Yeah, we'll make a charcuterie.
We're like, oh,
I'll
this
bring
is just a
Karen.
happy movie.
Yeah, and we watch Hunger Games.
They all
My
get
grandma
killed.
can come. My grandma loves Hunger Games.
She'll hype it
We
up.
got her into it. I don't know if we ever watched Mockingjay Part 2. It's like, we'll make it a day.
Let's make it a day. My mom would be like, especially the deaths in the new one. So brutal.
If you were having your mom watch it for the first time, would you start with Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes? Or would you go
Good
back?
question.
What would you do?
I feel like I would start
like-
it from the beginning.
It's like the
It'd be
MCU. What order
how
do you watch the
feel?
MCU in?
Yeah. How do you feel about it? Since you haven't seen it. Well, I think my dad watches these, so I'm like,
Yeah.
are you going to watch I wonder if he watched the new one, and if you haven't, sit down.
Let's go to the 21.
Let's go to the 21 over with Rick. My dad won't shut up during movies. He can't go to the cinema.
That's so funny. I'm seeing if I can like bribe my family to go.
Talk. No, literally, I want to
That'd be
go.
fun. It's
I'm
such
just gonna go by
such a fall
myself.
movie. Okay.
I'm just at the theater
We
like
do
this.
have I have my free ticket.
Okay,
I need
let's
to use it
go.
in the next fucking month. Lastly, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most unserious a show or series can be, what would you rate it? I was like 1 to 2.
1,
Like
maybe
1.5.
1.5.
Yeah.
Like,
Just because is it the most serious I think could be? No, but it's pretty fucking close.
I could make myself laugh during some of the scenes just because I'm very unserious. And it's just the way people stand. But, it's like, how do you do? Or the way they cut.
Yeah.
What was the, yeah.
When I think it's when the guy is covering up all the tributes,
Yeah.
and then it immediately cuts to Viola Davis being like, "There has been a death in our community too." It's like the TV cutting.
But yeah, the cut, I was like, like the most the most serious thing is happening, and they just do. But like the overall thing, and the fact that this could happen. I mean, it's pretty like,
Yeah, it's like a warning.
yeah,
Don't fuck this up.
don't fuck
America,
this up. No, literally,
the world.
like, ugh, and it's creepy as fuck
Yeah.
if I think about it too much. But also, I want to go into the games.
No.
Sorry, I'm going into the games. No. I would die in the first 5 seconds.
You go into the games and
I couldn't even run.
I'll
I'd be
distract Snow and be like, I can fix him.
No, I don't think we can fix this one.
Those are my favorite memes I've been seeing now.
No,
It's
even
like,
Lionsgate's like,
there was one where it's like me like simping over the new president. So then I remember he killed Finnick, and it's people like,
it's like, huh?
like me simping over President So, but I never claimed to be a good person.
Yeah. Wait, what did I say? Oh, I caught myself getting upset when the bad guy I know is bad turns out to be bad. Like,
I was like, I'm not gonna have any sympathy, and they do a good job where at first you're like, oh, he can be better than this. It is tricky though. Like, I feel like I went into this being like, you know where he ends up, so it's like, I never fully gave myself over, but then in the movie I'm like, fucking Caesar.
I said,
I could fix him. No, I'm just kidding. It's really hard to wrap your head around it when you know what he turns out to be.
He turns out to be
unforgivable.
But the casting, their casting too, like, back to that, like, I can see with the older Snow, I can see it.
Yeah.
Like, the edits when it goes into, I'm like, why can't I see this? Like, it's pretty good.
I think I've seen this film
before.
Did you see the All Too Well edit where it was like, the first fall of snow? I was like, ah!
There's so many, so many songs go to this movie.
Yeah, I'll be eating up more of that for dinner tonight. Okay. This is a supersized episode, and if you thought it was about to be over, you're wrong.
Like the movie?
Part 3. Our Hunger Games during a special edition of Hunger Games Night with Megan and Bree. We're going to do our own goddamn Hunger Games, y'all.
Yeah, we made it ourselves.
And let's have a fun little ceremony.
Just a fun game.
In District 1, you might not be able to see all this. In District 1, from all 24 shows that Brie and I have covered, we're reaping someone from each show, y'all.
That's slave.
Every TV show we've covered except for Community, so let's pretend that Troy and Abed are Caesar Flickerman, and Claudius Templesmith, and President Snow is fucking Chevy Chase. All right.
Okay.
Let's go. From District 1, Luxury. Roman Roy and Tanya from White Lotus. Do I have last names for everyone? No.
Let's go.
From District 2, Masonry and Defense. Joel Miller from The Last of Us and Marie Moreau from Gen B.
Yes.
From District 3, Electronics, Rebecca Welton and Eddie from Daisy Jones.
Eddie.
Why didn't we pick fucking Billy Dunn, Brie?
Because Eddie rules. So we're gonna put him
Billy Drools.
Billy Drools. Because Billy will never be Finnick.
You're right. Speak on that.
My Finnick.
Sugar cube?
Sugar cube horse looking.
Me trying to eat a sugar cube because of Finnick. Okay.
Breaking tooth.
Some of these also districts, I think, like defense, Slade, and then electronics. I'm like, throw Rebecca and Eddie.
Just put Eddie in there.
Okay. District 4, Fishing. John B. Rutledge and Belly Conklin.
Let's go, John B.
District 5, Power and Electricity. Loki
Slay.
and Misty from Yellow Jackets.
So true.
District 6, Transportation. NoHo Hank and Georgia Miller, baby.
Iconic.
District 7, Lumber. Ben Gross and Maddie from School Spirits.
And Peyton List.
District 8, Textiles, aka Fashion, Oliver Putnam, and Midge Maisel.
Yes.
District 9, Grain, Richie the Bear, and Mr. Ezra Fitz.
If Mr. Fitz wins, I swear to God.
Oh, God. District 10, Livestock, Roxana from the After Party, and Thing from Wednesday.
Don't mind them.
District 11, Agriculture, Jamie from Bly Manor, and Nick Nelson from Heartstopper. And lastly, from the Star-Crossed Lovers, from District 12, Nell Crane and Joe Goldberg.
No, not my Nell.
A minute for
Joe.
our beautiful tributes. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. If you're not watching this, we're playing everything on the TV. Dun, dun,
Canon.
Dun, dun, dun. You have to make it when they get eliminated. Okay, Brie, who are you betting on? Who are you sponsoring? Who do you think's gonna win this?
I gotta be honest. Let me look. Who should I put all my money on?
Anything can fucking happen.
Oh, literally anything can happen. I'm gonna put all my money.
All of it. You're not gonna split it?
No,
It's on Eddie.
on Eddie. I'm gonna put some of my money on Loki.
Okay. He's a contender. He's a contender for sure.
And I'm gonna put more of my money on Tanya.
Nice.
Oh my god, all these people could win.
All
all these people slay.
It's gonna be really interesting to see who wins this. I really think District 6 is such a dynamic duo. Like, a minute for them.
Yeah, look at those pictures. They're slaying.
Noah Hank and Georgia Miller, like, I really root for them. And then I also think I'm rooting for Richie and Rebecca. I'd say that's my big four. Is the core four of Joanna, Finnick, Katniss, and Peeta is actually Noah Hank, Georgia Miller, Rebecca Welton, and Richie the Bear.
Exactly.
Alrighty, let's get into it.
I'm kind of scared.
Wait. Hold on. Why did it change back to the regular Hunger Games?
The way I'm looking.
Hold on, everybody. Stay with me. Hold on, everyone. Stay with me.
Everyone, please
Copy
hold.
link.
It changed back to the normal Hunger Games.
I said those aren't my tributes. All right, let's go. Bloodbath. The Hunger Games have started. Boom! Cannon.
Okay.
Roman takes a handful of throwing knives from the ground and retreats. Tanya stays at the cornucopia for resources. Joel dashes to the forest to avoid the bloodbath. Marie takes a spear. Oh my god! Cannon! Eddie stabs Rebecca in the back with a trident.
Eddie!
Okay, so one of my four are gone.
Damn.
That's fucked.
Eddie.
John B grabs a shield.
Get it, boy.
Belly grabs a backpack of supplies and retreats. Loki grabs a backpack, but it's not zipped and most of the supplies fall out.
You dumbass bitch, get your shit together.
I think Brie and I can nail hosting the Hunger Games.
Put all my money.
Misty and Noho Hank dash for the same bag of food and supplies. Noho Hank gets scared and retreats.
Ho-ho.
Georgia runs to the cornucopia and tries to hide. Ben finds a backpack full of camping equipment. Maddie and Oliver dash for the same bag of supplies. Oliver gets scared and retreats. Midge finds a bow and arrows.
Okay, Katniss.
Our
slay.
Katniss has emerged.
That's
everyone.
our Katniss.
Richie grabs the supplies furthest from the cornucopia and escapes. Mr. Fitz takes a couple of explosives from the cornucopia.
Of course he does.
Thing finds a bag of food. Roxana finds a bow and some arrows. Oh, Roxana.
Roxana is Katniss too.
Nick grabs a sickle and Jamie gets a slingshot. Joe rips a backpack out of Nell's hands.
Toxic.
All right. One cannon. Boom. District
I can't believe
3.
we already lost Rebecca.
I know, that's fucking awful. Okay.
And Eddie did it?
Fucking Eddie.
Eddie.
Billy Dunn would have never.
Billy Dunn.
Billy's done.
Billy's
okay.
done.
So this is day 1. Rowan practices his knight throwing and archery. Tanya sees Joel but decides to stay quiet and let him pass.
That's nice, Tanya.
Marie, Eddie, John B, and Belly hunt for tributes.
That is the core 4!
I think we see an alliance forming.
We see a lion. John B is stressed.
What is Eddie doing with these kids?
Eddie, get away from them.
Loki is trampled to death by boulders falling down a mountain. Boom! Do, 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 do.
This has to be the dumbest bitch alive.
Is he the one with the backpack that
Yes!
Oh no!
And now he's dead.
Loki, no.
One of my tributes.
I could have done it, Father.
I could have done it.
Damn. All right. He tried.
He really
Misty
did.
scares Noah Hank off into the distance. He keeps getting scared by Misty.
So true.
Georgia constructs shelter with sticks and grass. Slay, mama.
Slay, mama.
Ben and Maddie create a fort out of sticks and leaves. Aw, slay.
Oh, that's kind of
Besties.
nice. They're...
Oliver and Midge work together for the day,
Oh.
maximizing their joint
Joint
slay.
slay. They
Richie tries to kill a squirrel with an arrow. That's so on brand.
Yes.
Mr. Fitz dreams about home back in his district. He's thinking about Arya.
Arya?
Stop thinking! Get away from her! Thing makes a wooden spear from tree branches. Good for him. Roxana sprains her ankle while running away from Nick. Nick Nelson.
Running away from Nick.
Oh. Jamie, Joe, and Nell hunt for other tributes. I see a love triangle forming.
I see a love triangle forming. That's insane.
So fucking, all the streams are crossing.
Oh my god.
Okay.
So we lost Loki.
Oh my god. Okay. Boom. Boom. Roman, Tanya, and Joel get into a fight. Roy quickly kills them both.
Roman, you tiny little guy.
Oh my god.
He did that.
Marie huddles up next to a fire and cooks the meat she hunted earlier in the day. Eddie leaves John B. Belly and Misty. Wait, who got out of here? Marie separated from them. Eddie leaves John B. Belly and Misty because he did not like their plan to kill more people. He said,
Eddie said, I'm not a killer.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
But he killed Rebecca.
Fuck him. On his high horse.
He's on his high horse.
No Ho-Ho thinks about his family. He's
That
thinking
will
about
make
his
me
best friend
cry.
Barry. And
Barry.
Cristobal.
No.
Barry, it's me. Barry. It's Hank. Georgia and Ben sleep in shifts, placing full trust in each other.
Aww.
Netflix!
Little teen dramas.
Maddie lets Oliver into her campsite. Oh, Martin Short. Midge lets Richie into her campsite. That's a little less pure.
Going on?
Dun, 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 dun. I can feel them. Mr. Fitz sets up camp. Okay. They and Roxana decide to make a peace treaty to make it through the night.
A lizard in a hand.
If one of them win, I swear to fucking God, I'll lose it. Nick Nelson is unable to start a fire and is extremely uncomfortable.
Me too, Nick.
Jamie receives a hatchet and water from an unknown sponsor. Joe huddles up next to a fire and cooks the meat he hunted earlier in the day, of course. Nell looks at the night stars and sky and wonder if it's real. That's so Nell praying.
That's so Nell.
All right.
No.
So at the end of day 1, 4 tributes were like... We've lost Joel, Rebecca, Loki, and Tanya. Damn,
big day.
Okay, day 2. Oh, big alliance. Roman, Marie, Eddie, and John B. Oh, no, they raided Belly's camp while she was away.
It's just a little...
Not Belly.
Not Belly.
Misty scares Noah Hank off in the distance. Misty just keeps going, boom. Their beef would go crazy.
Oh my god.
That's so funny. Georgia picks non-poisonous fruit from a tree.
Okay.
Agriculture queen.
It's peach.
Ben and Maddie work together for a day. Oliver tends to Midge's wounds. Aw, district friends. Richie searches for water. And Mr. Fitz hides in a bush, terrified and scared.
Good.
That's actually how I feel when I see Ezra Fitz.
Terrified and scared.
Thing discovers a hidden pathway. Roxana poisons Nick's drink, but Nick knowingly switches the drinks and Roxana dies. That's literally... Wait, but that's also what happened on the after party. Yeah. Nick just killed a fucking lizard.
No.
Okay. Jamie searches for water. Joe wonders what Nell is up to. Of course. Okay. He said hello.
He said hello, you. To Nell.
Okay, night 2. Roman receives medical supplies and nuts from an unknown sponsor. Marie receives a hatchet and water from an unknown sponsor. Eddie stays awake all night on pure adrenaline. John B stays awake all night on pure adrenaline. Belly receives a gourmet 5-course meal from an unknown sponsor. Ooh. I think that sponsor is Conrad.
It's Connie, baby.
Connie, baby. Misty stays awake all night on pure adrenaline. Everyone's on pure adrenaline. NoHo Hank receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. It's Barry. Georgia is unable to start a fire and is extremely uncomfortable. Ben convinces Maddie to snuggle with him for the night.
Oh, do we have a love? Everyone
star-crossed lovers from District, what did we say, 9? Does Davey know?
Oh, no.
Does Milo Manheim know? Oliver tends to his wounds. And Midge feeds Richie an allergen, killing him.
No, not Richie. Damn, we thought they were in love.
Damn, that was, oh yeah, what a twist.
They were getting her on and then...
Those are Richie and Rebecca were 2 of my people. But Noah, Hank, and Georgia are still here. And you said Loki and who? Tanya? Oh, both of yours are gone. What are you thinking now?
John B.
Okay. Checks out. Mr. Fitz thinks about winning and what his life would be like with Arya. Thing questions his sanity. Nick receives matches from an unknown sponsor. Jamie, Joe, and Nell sleep in shifts, each hoping the other 2 do not betray them.
That's drunk.
That's a trio. That's so funny.
That's crossed.
Roman camouflages himself in a cave-type area.
Okay, peeta.
There's so many coves.
Thank you.
Marie and Eddie create a fort out of sticks and leaves. John B sees Belly, Misty, and NoHo Hank. He tries to trap them and ends up only killing NoHo Hank. Oh, my NoHo Hank!
No, not NoHo Hank again.
Again? Whoa. Georgia, Ben, Maddie, and Oliver raid Midge's camp while she's away.
Oh my god.
Oliver betrayed her. They were
betray.
Mr. Fitz throws rocks at Thing from a hiding spot in a tree. Leave him alone. Nick kills Jamie with her sword. That's a district partnership. That's District 11.
Nick Nelson.
It's on site.
It's on site.
Joe and Nell hunt for other tributes. Slay. Okay, night 3. Roman bashes Marie head with a mace.
God.
Marie.
No.
Oh my god, things are heating up. Eddie begins to cry.
Eddie is so real.
Eddie begins to cry.
Poor Eddie.
John B and Belly sleep in shifts, placing full trust in each other. So my beach girlies. Misty lets Georgia enter her campsite. Okay, when two queens their joint slay. Ben sees a fire but stays in place.
Okay, Ben.
Oh. Maddie and Oliver run into Midge, Mr. Fitz, and Thing and make a temporary peace. What an interesting group.
That's a big group.
Nick involuntarily passes out from sheer exhaustion.
Good.
Joe thinks about winning and what life would be like.
Hello.
Nell feels delirious and forgets where she is.
Nell, so real.
Real. Okay, after day 3, we've lost
God, everyone's
9 tributes. Joel, Jamie, Marie, Roxana, Rebecca, Richie, Loki, Tanya, and NoHo Hank.
Damn.
Wow.
They're
Wonder how many
dropping
days
like
will
flies
last.
over here.
Yeah. Roman, Eddie, and John B hunt for other tributes. That's the big 3. Belly has a mild panic attack. Girl, me every day.
Girl, me too. This is how the hosts are talking at the Hunger.
Girl, same.
Me too.
That's lucky for real. Misty makes a wooden spear from tree branches. Whoa.
Yes!
Oh, here we go. Things are heating up.
We
Georgia.
march.
We stand. We walk. We march. Georgia, Ben, Maddie, Oliver, and Midge aggressively track down and kill Mr. Fitz. They did it for America. They did it for Pan Am.
They did it.
Thing wonders what Nick is up to.
Okay.
Joe sees smoke rising in the distance and wonder who is responsible. Nell constructs shelter with sticks and grass.
Slay queen.
Night 4, Roman falls asleep, shivering from a fever. Oh no, Roman, stay with me. Eddie receives matches from an unknown sponsor. It's Camilla. John B sleeps in small increments, awaking to every little noise.
Stay with me, boy.
Belly receives a hatchet and water from an unknown sponsor. Misty approaches Georgia's campsite and asks to create an alliance.
Oh, would you like
Ben is repeatedly awoken by nightmares.
Oh.
Maddie, Oliver, Midge, and Thing sleep in shifts, trying to protect each other. Nick sees a fire but stays in place.
No!
Joe kills Nell with a handmade weapon. Didn't he ever? He cut off his toe and put it in a pie.
I could have guessed that. What the fuck?
Damn.
Ugh.
Rest in peace, Nell.
No.
Day 5. Roman throws rocks at Eddie from a hiding spot in a tree. That's so real.
At Eddie.
John B picks non-poisonous fruit. Belly overhears Misty and Georgia talking in the distance. Mm-hmm. Ben explores the arena. Maddie constructs shelter with sticks and grass. Oliver and Midge hunt for other tributes. Thing fishes in the water for some food. And Nick accidentally walks over a landmine.
Nick Nelson blown up.
What, Nick? Charlie's crying at home.
Charlie's crying.
And Joe practices his knife throwing and archery.
Okay. The fuck?
Night 5. Roman's still kicking and he receives matches from an unknown sponsor. Yes. Eddie approaches John B's campsite and asks to create an alliance. Belly questions her sanity. Misty kills Georgia. She tries to steal supplies from...
She stabbed her in the back.
People can't stand to see a cunty bitch winning.
An alliance. People can't stand.
Ben receives matches from an unknown sponsor. Maddie, Oliver, Midge, and Thing joke with each other.
They just have a laugh.
That's what Midge is for, right?
Yes.
Keeping things light and positive.
Yes.
Of course she is. Joe involuntarily passes out from sheer exhaustion. Day 6.
Damn.
I think we're almost getting there. Roman constructs shelter with sticks and grass. Eddie tries to kill John B, but he escapes.
Let's go, John B.
I'm in this for Belly now. Belly climbs a tree, making a resting spot. So we're rooting for the same district at this point.
Okay.
If you're rooting for John B and Belly, and I'm rooting for Belly. Misty falls and scrapes her leg while running away from Ben. Maddie receives water from a sponsor. And Oliver, in a cruel fate, asks Midge to kill Thing or Joe. She decides to kill Thing.
Oh my god.
Y'all, Thing didn't make it out alive.
Thing and Roxana gone.
Damn. Okay, hold on. Roman
No.
tends to his wounds with leaves and water.
Let's go.
Eddie, John B, and Belly get into a squabble. John B escalates it and kills them both.
John B.
No, it's John B. It's so
Bring it on home,
my
John
poor
B.
Belly and Eddie.
That is kind of sad.
But John B still in it. Misty quietly hums in the night.
Misty would quietly hum in the night.
Ben leaves Maddie, Oliver, and Midge because he does not like their plan to kill more people. And Joe dies in his sleep from a deadly infection. That do be how you's gonna end.
Yeah, literally.
So, like,
he's just gonna die from like
anticlimactic.
something so
No, he's gonna have an allergic reaction.
like she's done.
Okay, we're almost there. Roman tends to John B's wounds. Cute.
Aw, nice.
Misty tries to kill Ben, but he escapes.
Ooh.
Maddie sees poison fog, but manages to escape. And Oliver repeatedly stabs Midge to death with a katana.
No! With a katana!
That's a betrayal if I've ever seen one.
They were slaying together.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's getting...
Roman Roy huddles up next to
Oh,
a fire
no.
and cooks the meat he hunted earlier in the day.
No.
John B dies from hypothermia.
Lame!
He's not used to being cold.
Yeah.
In the Outer Banks.
from the beach.
Misty receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Ben falls asleep in a tree.
Alright.
Maddie and Oliver sleep in shifts, placing full trust in each other. At the end of the first week,
God.
5 tributes remain. Is it going to be Roman Roy, Misty Yellow Jackets, Oliver Putnam, Maddie School Spirits, or Ben Gross? Maddie and Ben, killing it for the kids. What an inspiration
They're
to all.
Katniss and Peeta.
Aw.
I'm gonna go for Misty right now.
I'm kind of pulling for Roman. Misty killed Roman! Misty killed Roman! Misty killed Roman! Well, that's really fucking awkward for me. Roman is unable to convince Misty to not kill him during their altercation. Ben asks Maddie to have mercy on him, and they're both alive. Oliver injures himself tripping over a log.
Oliver, get it together. Stand up.
All right, here we go. My poor Roman. My homie Romy. Misty climbs a tree to get some rest. Ben sees a fire but stays in place. Maddie receives fresh food and materials from an unknown sponsor, and Oliver cannot handle the stress and decides to commit. I mean, I could see that.
He would.
He'd be like, I'm fucking done with this.
I'm done with this shit.
I might have made it to the top 4,
drama.
but that's enough. All right, the big 3. Will it be Misty, Ben, or Maddie? Ben and Maddie holding it
I know,
up.
they like are... Oh my god, they're gonna end up... Oh.
Misty scares Ben off into the distance.
She's good at scaring people.
Maddie's alive.
Oh my god.
Maddie explores the arena. Heating up. Night 9.
Ben... Oh.
Misty unknowingly eats poisonous berries. There's no way she would have unknowingly done that.
Yeah.
I call bull. That's fox face for sure.
That's Foxface. What the fuck?
It's down to the star-crossed lovers.
Oh my god, this is drama. This is literally Katniss and Peeta.
Oh my god.
They're gonna have to,
They sleep in shifts, fully trusting each other. Oh my god, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do?
They're in love!
Ben and Maddie.
What are they gonna do? They have to...
Day 10.
They have to pretend to eat.
They're going to have to pretend to eat
Then
the
they go,
berries.
stop! No!
Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the 74th annual Hunger Games, Ben and Maddie. All right, what's gonna happen? Ben stabs Maddie while her back is turned. He literally stabbed her in the back. I cannot believe in 2023,
in the year
Ben Gross won the Hunger Games and Davy's heart away from Paxton.
Oh, that's just my Bennett boy. Oh my god, Ben Gross pulling through.
Oh my god.
And
Can you it's fucking Ben Gross. And he only killed 2 people.
that's not what I was expecting.
That's insane. Can you see which
lame.
ones now?
Oh my
Wow. Do. Maddie second place. Misty making it far tracks. Roman, killing me. John B was 6.
John B kind of slayed.
Who was the first one out? Rebecca.
Rebecca and Loki died first.
In a bloodbath. Yeah.
God.
Damn. All right, well, we got to give it to Ben Gross. Never have I ever won the Hunger Games. No one's saying that anymore.
Here I am clapping for Ben Gross again.
Shut the fuck up. Sometimes all I think about is you.
We got triggered. Sometimes I think about you.
All right, well, this was our longest podcast ever, just as The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes was the longest
movie
ever in the Hunger Games franchise. No complaints.
Yes.
If everyone watched this and you're here, thank you so much. Please use our coupon code. When we hit 100 subscribers, we're doing a giveaway.
We're doing a giveaway.
We're giving away Julia's dog.
Yes.
No, we're not. We love Darby. That was a bit.
Darby's
it was a bit.
my love.
She just loves to bark while we're potting.
She just loves to bark. It's real.
Anyway, never forget. Snow lands on top.
Ew.
Spot.
I hate that.
If it wasn't for the baby.
Do, 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 do. Thanks for listening to our podcast.
Remember to rate, follow, and share with friends.
And find us on TikTok and Instagram at unseriesous to see more content and find out what we're watching next.
We hope you enjoyed, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.